Hey, everybody, welcome back for day 56 of 100 Days of Halloween. How are you? I hope you are doing well and enjoying the week. So, 100 Days of Halloween, what are we doing? So, my lovely friend and Yarny sister Ranee over at the Woolly Llama shop was discussing with several of us on a live that she was wanting to do a Halloween blanket for the 100 Days of Halloween. And rather than a full undertaking of a blanket that was going to continually grow while it's still hot here in the South, her idea was to do 6-inch by 6-inch granny squares with either a fall Halloween themed applique motif colorway, what have you. And a bunch of us were like, yes, 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 let's do this. Although some are doing other projects with the same kind of, yeah, we're working together on different things at the same time. Yes. So she is very structured with hers, even though she's had to pivot some lately. And every day, pretty much every day, she is drawing at random a new square or themed applique for either Halloween or fall and providing that for you guys so that if you so choose to use those in another project or a blanket or something else, you can. And yes, she has quite the list, and drawing those at random from her Jinx Jack-o'-lantern of joy, and it's been fun watching to see what she's going to pull out every day. I myself am not that structured with mine. Mine is more uh, going on creative whim, inspiration, what have you. We are drawing our squares for the last couple, almost 3 weeks now, I think, at random from the Boo Box of Fate. So we never know from day to day what color of square we're going to have or if it already has a theme. And then I am using creative influence or some of the suggestions you guys have made to embellish those for my blanket. Now, we do have some other Yarny sisters that have joined in that are not making blankets. We have Nova over at Nova Gnome Creations, who is making wearables for her and some near and dear littles in her life. And she is dropping an update video about once a weekish. And but she's not showing us what she's making. She's saving that for the 13 days of Halloween. And I'm waiting. Oh, I am so impatient to see what they are. And then we have our other Yarny sister, Patricia, who has made two projects so far that she has finished. And the information for those videos is down in the description box. Go check those out. They are super cute and very creative. Go check out those ladies if you haven't already. They are very talented creators, and I love them so, so much. Anybody I mention, um, if the information is in the description box and you don't know them, go check them out. Um, so we have already finished blocks for 1 through 10, 11 through 20, 21 through 30, 31 through 40, and 41 through 50. And we are currently working on 51 through 60. And I am basically gauging mine in groups of 10 and doing a video short recap on those before I feed the blanket. Yes, I say feed the blanket. And so we are a little more as of today. We are 6 days into our next group of 10. So without further ado, let's check out what blocks we've done for this group. So for day 51, we drew out the tricolored orange square that was this. And as I've said before, my uncle hated it. And he texted me immediately when he saw it and said, cover that up. Had some ideas, gave me some inspiration after we talked a little bit. And I came up with this goth kind of square with this coffin and these black sparkle um, little rosettes. All the information for the tutorial and the written blog post are in the description box. Any of these squares that have a pattern will be down there under that day's square. And the only thing I freehanded was this little green vine with these little leafy bits. So that was day 51. So then on for day 52, we drew out this Sirdar spiral square, and it is from the Halloween blanket cowl from sirdar.com. One that I had been practicing because my kit didn't show up till way late, and so we didn't get to start the blanket. but I'm using the squares in this one that I practiced with. So we left that blank so we wouldn't cover up any of this coolness. Then for day 53, we drew out this hot pink fuchsia sparkle kind of square. And because we all know I love my black kitties, we had to incorporate a new black kitty that we hadn't done before. And so we put that on that one. And then for day 54, we drew out another designed element square. And this is the concentric circles granny square. And when I was reading through your comments on the video when we showed this, I think it was Sam who had the same idea that I was getting like ogre or cyclops vibes, and I did not want to cover it up. And then other people were saying eyeball. I didn't put any veins or anything. I just thought it was super cool the way it was. So we left it, and the pattern information is down in the description box. So then for yesterday's square, we drew out this like deep brick red. And I, as soon, basically within seconds of seeing it, I had an epiphany. The light bulb moment went off, and I knew exactly what I wanted to put on it. Even though I couldn't find a pattern online, um, so I ended up freehanding, and we did a vampire, and it was just super simple, free-handed shapes, just working with them until I got them to look the way I wanted to. And so we put that on our deep red square, and I think it turned out super cool. Better than I envisioned, actually. And then for yesterday, when we drew our square for today, we drew out this like neon pink. Yes, we did. Neon pink. And I was trying to figure out what I wanted to put on it while I was talking to you guys. And yesterday evening, after Brian had gone to work, and I was sitting thinking about it, and I looked through the appliques that I had been working on in advance that are, I have them in different zippy bags for ones that are finished or ones that need to be finished. And I had one that wasn't quite finished. It needed some dressing up, so to speak. So that was what I worked on. I finished dressing up that applique, and that is what I put on my square. So let's see what you guys said, what your guesses were, and see if anybody got it. So, all right, we've got them pulled up. Sam over at Memphis Makes said, "Oh man, I have guessed vampire sphinx several times, and then when I don't, you make one. He is super cute. Going to go random and say sugar skull. You did go random. Um, Good guess. Good guess." And then Donna Hoskinson said, "Oh, I am totally watching the shenanigans, girl. Love the vampire. One of my favorite ones you have made. I think the pink square, Black Book of Spells. Oh, good guess." Karen Smith said, "Every time I see your swirl square, I think of Chester Cat in Alice in Wonderland." Yes, maybe I need to do one in those colors. You could just put the eyes in the mouth and nose and make it look like a Chester Cat on one of those swirl squares. Your vampire is adorable. Thank you. And that is a good idea, but I would want to do the squares, the swirl in like pink and like hot pink and like the purple. Alana Hawkins said, "Oh, love your vampire. I was thinking too hard on the brick red square. I think you should draw out of the 10 on day 56. Also, I think you should come up with a Christmas blanket the same way you were doing this one. Triple dog there. Girl, Ranee had mentioned that, but the 100 days of Christmas would overlap during the 100 days of Halloween, and there is no way we can do both. It would just be too hard. However, it is potentially a thought for next year. I need to talk to Rainey and them about it more to see if it's something we all want to do or if it's something I would do by myself. But yes, it has been talked about. So, not accepting a triple dog dare at this point, but it will happen at some point, just not this year, because there's no way we can do the Halloween and the Christmas at the same time. It's just way too much. because I'm not sure if you know, I also make a lot of donations for hospice, and I can't have so many projects that are time consuming that takes away from doing anything for hospice because that's my passion project. So I can only do like one major project all at one time. And then everything else is sprinkled in the midst of that. So does that make sense? So yes, it will happen. It just won't happen this year, because we just won't have time. Um, yes, it would be so much fun. And yes, we've already talked about it. Ranee at the Woolly Llama Shop said, I love your vampire. What about a candy apple for the pink square, the kind with the shiny cinnamon coating? Yum. And then Lisa Knits said, hi, Missy, Batgirl, I will guess. I love that. We haven't had a Batgirl guess before. So, what did I put on it? Well, somebody got it right. And Sam got it right. Yes, Sam, you got it right. I did a sugar skull. I already had the skull made because I had it made before uh Nova came out with her skull and crossbones. And I was going to use this one around that time, but then she dropped her tutorial and I decided to do that one at that point instead. So this one was just blank sitting in my applique box in a bag. It was just waiting for all of this because I had never finished it because of Nova's skull and crossbones. So I decided, seeing as how this one was hot pink, neon pink, whatever you want to call it, I thought this one would be a good one to put that sugar skull on. And that was what I did. And the pattern for the skull part was from, I want to say Crochet Nirvana. Let me pick it up real quick. Yes, from Crochet Nirvana. She does show a picture of one. It's actually, the pattern is just the skull part. She does have a picture somewhere in her blog with some detail on it that she played around with. And she tells the story in that blog on how she came up with the pattern from something she saw from an overseas, like Mediterranean kind of crochet site that had pictures and stuff. And it's really interesting story. And so I dressed it up my way, and there we go. That is my sugar skull. So I will put the link for the page for this skull pattern down in the description box for day 56. So that leaves us, and this is what it looks like when you pull it up right here by Crochet Nirvana. And it was very basic, very simple. I When I made it, and I had to go back and find where I found it because at first I couldn't remember because I didn't save it because it had been so long ago. So yeah, so let's draw out the square for day 57 and see what we will be working with for tomorrow. Alrighty. Okay, so we are working with black. I don't think we've done a solid black one in a while. So we've got black. So go ahead and put your guesses or your suggestions down in the comment section and come back tomorrow and see what we did with day 57's block. So with that, I guess I'm going to let you guys go and leave you with these parting words because I haven't said it in a while. Life is not perfect, so be kind. Try and create something new every day and keep reaching for the stars and your yarn. So, till next time, guys, love you bunches. Bye for now.